Come manifest your best life with 190 Vision.
Will you please tell us your name?
My name is Jackie.
And would you mind giving us some background information about yourself?
Sure. I'm married. My husband is in the Army. I have 3 kids. And when growing up, I went to school, I went to college and pursued a career in social worker. I actually even worked in a counseling center, so kind of knew what they were doing and thought that's what I wanted to do. Found out that wasn't something I wanted to do. I ended up finding a job that I started working in computers. So I did programming at the hospital. Worked there for a little while and found out there was something missing. So I found out about financial service, so thought that was a career that might help me. So got into the financial service, and while I was doing that, I met my husband, we got married, and then when I have my oldest daughter, we decided that for me to stay home. So I quit my job, and I ended up staying home, raise my kids, and then ending up having 3 more kids. During that process, I went ahead and homeschooled them because I was teaching her how to read. And I figured that's the best way for me to learn because growing up, I had struggled learning how to read. So after I was helping her, I fell in love with it. And I thought, wow, nobody ever taught me how to read properly. So I ended up going back to school and got a degree in early child education. Fell in love with teaching and working with kids. So here I am.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, prior to 190 Vision, what were you experiencing and what was your life like? And we're talking about your health here.
Well, I used to have, since I was in high school, I used to have very, very bad menstrual cramp up until even after I have my oldest daughter. And when I used to go to work, you get what they call PTO time, right? You work certain amount of days and then you get certain days off. Every month I would have to request days off from work because I was in so much pain. So that was going on there. And then I also, while living in Korea, I also had really bad carpal tunnel. I couldn't even hold a bowl. Like the Chinese, we use a bowl and chopstick. I had a hard time holding it and I was in pain. I went to see physical therapy for that once a week. In Korea, I even saw a lady, I'm not sure what she called, but is maybe a Korean medicine doctor, almost like an acupuncture, but she used a different material to work on my hand and my back. So I went to see her. I would drive almost an hour one way and an hour back every Wednesday night, and I don't get home until like 10 p.m. just to see her for the service. I thought that might help. So did that for almost 6 months, but that didn't work. And then went to the hospital with the physical therapy. That didn't work. So that I was in pain for a long time, and even to a point where sometimes I just don't cope. I will just order out because I was in so much pain. I even had to wear wrists on my hand.
Wrist brace?
Wrist braces. And then at night when I'm sleeping, I'll be screaming, shouting because I felt like my wrist just broke in half. So I couldn't sleep. And talking about right now, I just remember when I was pregnant with my oldest one, I have what they call pregnancy carpal tunnel.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I had it on my 2 wrists, and similar symptom where if I don't wear the wrist, I felt like my wrist, the bone just break off, and I felt so much pain.
So the brace seemed to alleviate some of the pain and discomfort?
Well, a little bit, but when I wear it, then my finger feel numb, and it start puffing up. So it kind of relieves some of the pain in certain part, and then it pushes the pain in another section of my body.
Okay.
So that's something. And then I used to get stomach pain a lot, not just cramp, but stomach pains and sometimes back pain. But the main one was more the menstrual pains, and then what the doctor called carpal tunnel. That took a long time.
Okay. Now the lady that you saw in Korea,
Yes.
it's up because I remember you calling us a few times. What was the treatment? Can you describe what the treatment was?
Sure. So I'll lay in this almost like a bed, but it's heated, so it warm up my body. And once it's done, I lay down almost like a massage table. You know, you lay down, so I lay on my back, and then she has this long stick is a wood, right? So it's a wood stick, and inside is like a circle. Inside the circle is like a metal. So she would use that thing to hit my back hard, and I felt like my bone is breaking everywhere, all over my body. So what she said was that my blood is clogged, so that's why there's pain on my hand. There's no circulation. So she would hit my hand, my back, different part of the area, and then she also used the suction cup, almost like a cup, acupuncture suction cup to suck the blood out of certain area. When I am done, there is like bruises all over my body. And one time I have to go see a doctor just for regular checkup at the hospital. I have to give a warning to the doctor and my husband because I didn't want them to file a police report thinking that my husband abused me.
Wow.
It was that the bruises on my mark was like purple color. That's how much pain I was from
Now,
the treatment.
did you at least feel any relief in your arms and wrists?
I felt a little bit better. So she did recommend that I sleep on a hot pad. So in Korea, the Korean like to sleep on the heated bed. So they have this mat that you can actually plug it in and you can adjust the heat temperature. So I had to sleep on that. She told me sleep on it for the first 2 nights after I come home after each treatment. And after a while, like maybe 3 treatment later on, I felt better. But I used to dread going there because it's literally me just having someone beat me in my back with a metal wood stick that just literally just beat me. I had to show my husband, but I felt a little bit of pain. But I was always nervous going there every Wednesday night, driving there an hour, getting beat up from her.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it was a pretty painful. I would be crying. I would be crying while I'm laying down there while she's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, since you brought up Korea, we're going to stick with Korea for a moment because you weren't the only one who was experiencing health challenges in your family.
Right.
Would you mind telling us about your son?
Sure. Well, before Korea, when we were living in Hawaii, he didn't get sick often. Maybe once or twice he has gotten sick. But the moment we got to Korea, he was like sick every month. Because when we got there, we sent him to, my husband and I thought that would be great for him to go to a Korean preschool, for him to experience it. He has uniform, the bus will come pick him up, he gets to eat Korean food, Korean culture, they teach him English. So we thought that was wonderful. But then even before he went to the school, coming back even on winter break, every month he was sick, and I had to check into, many times gone to the emergency room middle of the night and for fevers or allergies or something, and he was prescribed Augmentin so many times that he's actually allergic to Augmentin right now.
Wow.
For the medication because it was that much. And then every month we had it, and to a point where I was just so lost and like, we pulled him out the school and he was still sick, and every month it was that. And to a point where one time he had a light fever. We thought, okay, it wasn't that bad. He didn't need medications. And all of a sudden at night he had a seizure. We had to rush him to the hospital, and my husband took him to the hospital in the car without shoes and jacket. He just ran. That's how bad it was at that time. And I got into essential oil. So I did peppermint oil mixed with coconut, frankincense oil, all these oil to help him to relieve. I'm not sure what was going on, but to relieve the fever, the cough, or everything else. But during the 3 years that we were there, I remember almost every month he's sick from something happened. And even for my daughter, she had eczema, and then same thing. Got into essential oil, frankincense oil, did that for her. My daughter, the moment we got to Korea, 2 months later on, found out she has this thigh that needs surgery. So operation. So we had that done for her in the Korean hospital. And then after that was done, maybe about a year later on, there's something else that she has to done for her eye again, for the eyelid. So had to be done. But before we even got to Korea, everything was fine. Yeah, so that was a pretty roller coaster ride for us.
To hear the rest of this story, go to 190 Vision TV on Roku TV or Amazon Fire. Learn more about 190 Vision through one of the following methods. On YouTube and Spotify, there are numerous topics that are discussed that could apply to your life. Roku TV and Amazon Fire have actual experiences told by the individuals who received help through 190 Vision. To connect with others who are on a similar path as you, join our Facebook group. To receive help, go to our website, 190vision.com, then click on the Help Me tab to get started. Support the 190 Vision mission by clicking on the Donate button, which is located at the bottom of each page of our website.